The first initiative that we're going to announce is it's an economic development action plan, and it's going to be spearheaded for the most part by our new economic development director, Liz Stocker. It'll start out with a series of workshops, and it'll be facilitated by Mr. Brian Baxendale, who's part of my Business Advisory Council. And members of the Business Advisory Council will be participating, department heads will be participating, and different elected officials and appointed officials will be participating, as well as some stockholders throughout the community. And the idea behind this is to take a look at where Norwalk is now and where we want it to be 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now. And it's going to be something that will be built upon as time passes. So for the first 5 years, we'll kind of identify where do we want Norwalk to be and how do we get there. And the workshops, and I'll let Mr. Baxendale and Liz Stocker talk a little bit about that, will start on October 21st, and we'll be using our plan of conservation and development to kind of determine what's happening now and what the recommendations are in there and where we want to go. The second initiative is one that's been discussed of late quite frequently, and that's a review of our zoning regulations. That will be spearheaded by Adam Blank, who sits on the Zoning Commission, and he will be assigning Torney Astrom, who's head of the Planning Commission, and it's in here someplace. Torney Astrom and Felix Serrano from the head of redevelopment, as well as some professional people within the community who have agreed to serve and work with Adam. And this is going to be a continuing process also. And I'll let Adam discuss that in a moment, where they'll be reviewing the zoning regulations that exist and making recommendations as to how they can be improved upon. And again, this complements the Economic Development Action Plan, because they're going to be hand in hand for the most part. So I'll let Mr. Baxendale speak a little bit about the workshops that we're going to be conducting and what we hope to accomplish.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, my job is purely to facilitate and help the mayor and the team organize what they feel are the goals for the city of Norwalk over the next 3 to 5 years, and then develop the strengths and weaknesses and the plan which the team in the city are going to execute. So my job is purely facilitation, and Liz is the key driver in many ways.
Liz?
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Mayor. So this is an exciting announcement that the Mayor is making to develop an action plan for the future economic development of the city. And I'm looking forward to working with the team. He's put together a very powerful group that will be working together, and I think that with their assistance, not only folks who are serving on boards of the city and our staff, but also some business people in the city who are stakeholders and who will assist us in getting to where we need to go in order to identify those actions that we will be taking in the next few years. So thank you very much. Forward to it.
Thank you, Liz. And as I mentioned before, we're going to be looking at our zoning regulations and seeing how we can improve upon them, what recommendations are going to come out immediately. There will be some stopgap kinds of things, and then some things for the long term. And I'll let Adam Blank, who's agreed, and I thank him very much, to head this up for the city.
Thank you. Well, thank you for letting me head up this task force, and I think initially the aim of the task force will be to simply take a look at what our regulations currently say as compared to what's in both the Plan of Conservation and Development, as well as a number of other studies that have been funded by the city to determine what sort of easy fixes can immediately be made and can be suggested to the Zoning Commission for implementation now, with the hope that some of the more complicated issues and a significant number of the issues that are often thought of as zoning issues, like sidewalks, actually entail a whole lot more than the Zoning Commission, and the purpose will be of the task force will be to work with those stakeholders that have a say in what our sidewalks look like, and whether we want manufacturing in the city, whether we want more housing and where we want it, and to try to come up with a comprehensive plan for those types of things and things like parking, and then coming up with a way to implement them, whether that's through the zoning commission, the common council, redevelopment, the planning committee, or elsewhere within the city. So hopefully we'll have some things very shortly to bring to the zoning commission with, and some more significant things as we go down the road.
Thank you, Adam. So you can see that we've put together quite an impressive team of subject matter experts, stakeholders within the community, to help drive both processes so that we can make sure that we get it right. As we said, there are many studies that have been commissioned by the City of Norwalk, and both teams will take a look at those and see which things we need to implement, which things may no longer be recommended or appropriate, and make some new recommendations. And this is going to be a dynamic process, not a static process where we do this one time and that's it. As the city grows, the plans and our goals must change to keep up with the times. And that's the intention that we're trying to do, so that, as I said, we want to know where we need to be 5 years from now, and then as we keep going 5 years out, then later on 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years out, depending on how times may change.